All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Breakpoint Breakdown. This is our final roundup, last day of Wimbledon, day 14. Number 1 versus number 2. Jannik Sinner outplays Carlos Alcaraz. He gains his revenge on him after that unfortunate for Jannik RG final, and he gets his revenge on Carlos Alcaraz. 4-6, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. Jannik Sinner is on top of the world right now, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you were spot on about your prediction, too. I mean, it was a very, very close, very tight four-set match. We'll get into the difference later, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Sinner's so impressive. Let's get into that first set, because Sinner led 4-2 in that first set, and then 4 straight games from Carlos to take it 6-4. What did you notice in that first set?
Yeah, in that first set, it was mostly just Carlos being on fire. I feel like we didn't see the deterioration of his first serve until later on in the match, specifically in the second set, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was just Carlos playing out of his mind like he usually does. I mean, he can be very up and down. He was up in the first set. I feel like halfway through, kind of kicked into gear when he got the break and he started gaining momentum. Sinner kind of got a little bit rattled, and I mean, yeah, they were hitting both well off both wings as well. I mean, Alcaraz's forehand defense wasn't very efficient, which is why he lost the first couple of games, but he was able to break back and use that momentum. And then after that, I mean, Sinner was just linear, but yeah.
Yeah. So I guess after that first set, and by the way, I think Alcaraz hit a ridiculous shot to win that set.
I remember. Yeah, I saw that point live. Yeah, Sinner hits a flying forehand down the line, and then Alcaraz picks it up as like a slice barely over the net.
Yeah. Incredible from Alcaraz. Sinner had an incredible shot to win the second set too, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember that point, dude. It was like,
was it a forehand? Was it a running forehand?
I'm pretty sure it was running forehand pass. Yeah. It was cross court. Yeah.
Yeah. So some of Sinner's changes after that first set, I guess the biggest one was probably the backhand down the line.
Yeah, the backhand down the line, it changed up their hitting pattern a lot because I noticed from Roland Garros, he was mostly going wide out to Alcaraz's backhand whenever he had a backhand that was short. But now he was kicking it down the line, and Alcaraz wasn't ready to adjust to that for most of the first set and most of the second. And he was still trying to pick it up off the ground and try to get that height and RPM over the net like he does cross-court usually, but he wasn't able to do that efficiently, which is why Sinner was able to take advantage of that for most of the match.
Okay. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Let's talk a little bit about Alcaraz, though. When Alcaraz beat Sinner in Rome, which was probably the least closest of their recent meetings, Alcaraz later said that it was his best ever tactical performance and that he was able to stay focused for the entire match. But here at Wimbledon in the final, he was up and down, and his concentration levels weren't what they usually are when he does play Sinner.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's very up and down as a player, too. I feel like that's kind of his play style with how explosive he plays. But yeah, I mean, he was very up and down against Sinner, the way I see it. I mean, you can't win a match off just playing off of breaks and getting broken and then breaking back. That's not classical tennis. I mean, it was very, very up and down in this final. His focus was more so towards just getting big points. Like I said before, he likes to play explosive. He plays big money tennis. So, I mean, yeah, it was very up and down. Not a lot of like linear focus like Jannik has. I mean, Jannik stays focused the whole match.
Yeah. What surprised me the most is that in these slam finals and in these big finals in general, Masters 1000 slam finals, it seems like Alcaraz is always able to stay focused though in those big matches. It's kind of the earlier rounds where he isn't able to. So the surprising thing for me was the fact that in this big occasion, Wimbledon final, that's where he wasn't able to stay focused, because we usually have seen him be able to do that in these big sort of matches.
Yeah, I mean, I think on his first serve, his serving in general, his first and his second, where it was really getting rid of his focus. I feel like he was focusing more on trying to get those to work rather than the actual game itself. I mean, the ace count in his first serve is very strong, just because whenever he got his first in, it was very efficient. But serving
15 aces.
yeah, serving 53% from your first serve isn't going to win you a match. He was running off the second serve for most of the important points, like deuce points, when he was on his serve. And you just can't do that against a player like Jannik who's going to stuff you the whole point. And he had like 8 double faults too. I mean, it's you can try to focus all you want in a match, but if you can't get your serves in, you're going to be focusing on your serves instead of the actual gameplay itself.
Yeah. I think we also learned from this match is that Paris was a one-off, right? It
Yeah,
just wasn't it
100%.
wasn't the same as here, right? Paris for Alcaraz was a rabbit out of a hat. He couldn't do that again. And I know some people were waiting for that. Is that moment going to happen? Is he going to be able to do that again? But Sinner stayed so focused for him, like he always is. But in that big moment, and look, fourth set, Sinner serving at 4-3. He was down 15-40. Alcaraz had some chances there.
Yeah, no, Alcaraz did have some chances. I mean, it was on him to capitalize, and he didn't. So, I mean,
Yeah. And actually, earlier in their head to head, when they were kind of starting out, when Alcaraz was kind of the top player and Sinner was still below, but Sinner was, I mean, a lot of people might not remember, but Sinner actually used to be the kryptonite for Alcaraz back when Sinner was still kind of in the 10 to 20 range and Alcaraz was a slam winner already. Sinner was tough for Alcaraz. And one of the big things in their head-to-head back then was that Alcaraz was unable to convert on their break points. Sinner was doing a much better job on break point conversion, and that had kind of flipped recently in their matchups. But it seemed like Sinner was the one that was able to capitalize more in this matchup.
yeah, I mean, Sinner's gameplay entirely. I mean, there were really no flaws, to be honest with you. Every aspect was amazing. I mean, break points, but really any big point. I mean, Sinner, Sinner was going to come out and was going to be a wall to Alcaraz. So, I mean, yeah, Alcaraz's lack of focus is what caused his demise in this match.
Yeah. More on Alcaraz losing focus, though. If you go back into his first round match against Fanini and he went 5 sets, and you look back at it now, it's like, of course, Alcaraz wasn't going to win Wimbledon after that horrendous performance against Fanini. I know Fanini was very good, but Alcaraz made 62 unforced errors in that first round match.
Yeah. He can't run off like that. He usually does too. With the amount of with the generational talent that he has, I feel like he can get away with that in his younger years. But come like when he's 30, 31, 32, you're not gonna want to play those 5 setters all the time in the first round. So I mean, I feel like this is also a wake up call for him in general. This whole tournament with the way he performed as well. I mean, I feel like Ferrero is definitely gonna help him get rid of the one set that he usually drops in these matches. So yeah, well we'll see what happens come the U.S. Open and all these Masters 1000s that we're gonna see in the future.
Yeah. And in a second, we'll get to what we think about these players coming up now. But yeah, I think Alcaraz is gonna eventually he's gonna need to fix these focus dips that he has, because it's gonna prove detrimental for him going on in his career when he does get older and he can't afford those physical matches early rounds. So you're spot on there. I wanted to talk about Alcaraz's serve because that was up 53%. That's gonna not enough against probably a lot of players, but especially Jannik Sinner. You can't win a match if you make 53%. I also do think that is a factor of Jannik being on the other side of the net and Alcaraz maybe
Oh yeah.
knowing that he has to make his first serve so good. So you probably missed a lot, probably due to that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was going big on his first serve a lot, averaging like 138 in the like 138 to 140 range. I also feel like it's kind of a note that we should take that Sinner starts serving very very well against Alcaraz as soon as he has a big final and has to relapse over that. Rather for Alcaraz, he wins the final, yeah, but he has to lose to learn that lesson on that serve, which is why I feel like this is going to be a learning like step for him in his whole career and his rivalry against Jannik as well, because Jannik had to go through that loss. He knows what he has to fix, which is the serve and the nerves that he had to deal with. Now he's focused, he's locked in. Now Alcaraz is going to start to lock in as well when he realizes that, oh, I can't beat Sinner by serving 53 and dropping a couple aces. He has to actually get his serve in, because when Sinner serves the way he did in this final, he can't do anything.
Yeah. One thing I want to mention more about Alcaraz's serve. Go back to last year when he destroyed Novak in the final, Alcaraz. He made 84% of his first serve in that final. And so that, and hence the 2-2-6 scoreline against Novak. So yeah, I mean, he obviously needed to perform better than 53%. And I think he will going forward in these matches with Jannik.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was a lesson to be learned. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Do you remember at the beginning of the tournament when Sinner fired his physio and physical trainer before the
Yeah, I remember
tournament
you
began,
tweeting
and
about that.
everyone was
Yeah,
concerned, and they were, I'm sure, and it was like, surely he can't win the tournament now.
yeah, he was perfectly fine. Yeah,
Yeah. Also, I mean, remember Sinner lost in the round of 16 to Bublik and Halle, and Alcaraz had won Queens, and there were a lot of question marks coming in with Sinner as well. Because a lot of people thought, oh well, Sinner is still hung over after that RG loss.
yeah,
Looks
no,
like he wasn't. So
yeah, it didn't affect his mind. Yeah,
yeah, Sinner is so unflappable when it comes to these situations.
yeah, for sure.
Um, I guess the elbow injury was not a concern as well for Sinner. I know we
No, it
keep
was
talking
not.
about it, but he still has the sleeve and he has the strapping as well. So you do see that and you just wonder. I think he was just precautionary though for this.
I was fully precautious. Yeah,
Yeah, so one of the things that Alcaraz couldn't do to Sinner were those heights and spins and that variety that he's able to possess. It
yeah,
was more just a baseline battle, and if you get into a baseline battle, even if you're as good as Carlos Alcaraz, you can't beat Jannik Sinner in a baseline battle.
yeah. I mean, especially on grass too. When I saw Jannik was just stuffing his offense entirely. He didn't give any Alcaraz any time to set up. Like I said, Fritz had to do. He couldn't execute. When you have a player like Jannik Sinner who hits as strong as he does off both wings, like Shelton said, I mean, he's gonna stuff Alcaraz the whole time, and that's what we saw this match. Alcaraz having to pull passes out of his ass whenever Sinner pushed the net after an approach. I mean, you can't do anything when somebody's hitting that strong off of both wings. The only thing Alcaraz can do is, specifically on clay, where we saw him win, he could actually mix up the RPMs, get the height, get the spin, get himself back in a rally. On grass, you can't do that, which is why Sinner was able to just destroy him for most of the match.
Yeah. And look, one of the factors that influenced my prediction of Sinner winning in four was the fact that they were playing on a faster surface. Alcaraz obviously had won the last five, but they were all on slower surfaces. Indian Wells is a slow hard court. Beijing is a slower hard court. And then you have the rest clay court matches, all slower surfaces. Wimbledon, even though Alcaraz has dominated at Wimbledon in the past 2 years, it's still a quicker surface, which favors Sinner. Uh, when I was talking about earlier in their head to head when Sinner was dominating Alcaraz, Sinner was able to rush Alcaraz, which is something that Alcaraz then figured out in Indian Wells when they played last year to use those kind of not junk balls, but mixing up the heights and spins. But here on grass, it was more of just Sinner being able to rush Alcaraz again on
Oh
the
yeah.
grass.
Yeah, and especially the backhand down the line too. It changed the hitting pattern. Alcaraz had to think about what he was actually going to do, and again, he tried hitting that sort of not lob, but a heavy spin, heavy height over the net, heavy net clearance ball cross court, and Yana can just pound that the whole time on grass because the spin just doesn't exist after that.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Sinner's serve. Let's talk a little bit about his serve. He didn't serve crazy enough like we thought he needed to, but he made 62% of his first serves, which is his average. And I believe we both said he needed to make more than 60% of his first serves,
Yeah.
and he did that. And he was very effective when he made that first serve. He won
Mhm.
75% of his first serve points.
Yeah. I mean, it was a serve plus one the whole time, and especially on the kick on the ad side as well was there as well. I mean, he was setting up his serve just entirely perfect. I mean, it's textbook tennis. I mean, there's not much more to go into about it. It was perfect.
Yeah. Um, Also, the drop shot for Alcaraz it wasn't as effective
It
as
was
it
not
usually
efficient.
is for
No.
Alcaraz, right?
Yeah, no, it was not efficient at all. He was trying it because when you have a person playing the pace like Sinner does, and the ball is skidding through the ground, Alcaraz could not get any slice whatsoever on it to have it drop. It was more so just a sitting ball waiting for Sinner to just come crashing down on it almost every single time. Alcaraz won, I think, like 3 points off of using the drop shot. So I mean, it was not effective in the final at all. He had a couple highlights like where Jannik Sinner was off balance. He fell trying to get the drop shot in the first couple sets, and then after that, it was persona non grata for the drop shot. Yeah.
Yeah. And Sinner's drop shot was actually pretty good though. He was able to use it effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Look, I think Alcaraz, we know his type of tennis. He likes to enjoy when he's playing and he likes getting the crowd involved and doing all that. And it didn't seem like he could do that today.
Yeah, no, he could not entirely. I mean, the tennis he was playing was there was more so you knew Sinner was going to win the match. Alcaraz was just sort of keeping it up. Like he'll hit maybe he'll win like 2 big points and make some random unforced error in the third, and then whatever else happens type of tennis. Yeah,
Yeah. And going back to Paris, though, and that comeback from Alcaraz, I'm just thinking about it right now. one of the factors I think that did influence that comeback from Alcaraz was the crowd in that match. The crowd was absolutely going ballistic behind Alcaraz when he was down because they wanted him to get back into it. They wanted to see a five
I
set
want to see
epic,
a five
and they
set.
were behind Alcaraz. It wasn't the case here in London. The crowd wasn't really behind him until that fourth set, but it was kind of too late. Sinner was already up a break. You kind of knew Sinner had the upper hand no matter what.
Right, yeah. Alcaraz's head was already out of it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Look, Sinner, I don't want to talk too much about it, but he did have a 3-month suspension. We're not going to go too much into that. But do you think that break that he had for 3 months ended up helping him out right now, having more gas left in the tank, or are you not buying into that?
I'm not that against that in the sense that his gas, like the gas that he has for the rest of the season, would have been affected. I feel like if he had more chances to take points away from the BNP, for example, and get some more points from there, I feel like it would have been better for him. I do feel like the break benefited him though as well. I mean, it's kind of a 50-50 sort of thing. I mean, yeah, he could have won titles if he was playing, but at the same time, the break helped him get prepared for what was going to be ahead, which was a crazy trilogy of matches that we saw.
Yeah. Something else I want to talk about for Sinner. I don't. I'm. By the way, I'm a big Sinner fan. I'm very happy that he won this match. But the Dimitrov match and that element to this, does that change anything for you with Sinner's win? With kind of the way of how that match panned out? Because obviously Dimitrov was up 2-0. Sinner's elbow in that match though was clearly not right. His forehand speeds were down. The elbow was by far affecting him in that matchup. Dimitrov was playing out of his mind. He was serving amazingly, coming to the net, doing all that, and then obviously injured his pec. But does the Dimitrov match kind of change anything for you?
I mean, in a sense, it's like, yeah, Sinner got away with that, but I mean, you can't really do anything. What happened happened. Like Nadal said, if nothing, it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
So
if doesn't exist.
yeah, it doesn't exist. I mean, whatever happened happened. I mean, yeah, people are gonna take it with a grain of salt, but I mean, it is what it is, bro. He ended up beating Alcaraz in the final anyway. You can't do anything about it. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
when I felt after that match when he got away with that kind of, I felt like if he did end up beating Alcaraz in the final, I felt like that would have kind of maybe not made up for it, but I guess
it
so.
would have
Like,
made it a win worth winning.
yeah, made it worth winning. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, he also look. I know Djokovic wasn't 100%, but Sinner beat Djokovic and Alcaraz back to back to win a major. That is pretty
yeah,
impressive.
that is pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Okay, so Alcaraz, he was on a 24 match winning streak. Sinner is able to break that. Pretty. How about this? Alcaraz is the one to break Sinner's 26 match winning streak. It's only fitting that Sinner is the one that breaks Alcaraz's 24 match winning streak.
Yeah, it's only fitting for them to be the ones that have beaten each other in Grand Slams, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna just mention that now. Alcaraz is now 5-1 in major finals. This is his first major final loss. Sinner's 4-1, and both of their losses have come to each
Against each
other.
other. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's great for the narrative and the whole rivalry. I mean, if Alcaraz had won this, it would have been way more one sided. So I mean, I'm glad that Sinner ended up winning this. I'm glad that we got a decent match out of it. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, if Alcaraz had won this match, the head-to-head would have been 9-4 now.
And
Instead,
Alcaraz would have been 2-0 in Grand Slam finals. Yeah,
it would have been 9-4, and instead it's 8-5 now. And 8-5 does feel a lot closer than 9-4. Like the gap is a little bit better for Sinner, especially.
yeah. And with the hard court season coming up too, we're going to see some matchups there on faster hard courts. So I mean, we're going to see how Alcaraz is going to be able to use his game against Sinner.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I think this was the best thing for the rivalry, just for Sinner to win. I feel like 9-4 just would have been getting out of hand, even though I would have favored Sinner on the hard courts. I felt like it was good for Sinner to beat Alcaraz on a grass court because grass was kind of becoming Alcaraz's thing the past few years, but not so fast, Jannik Sinner says. And now it's a very interesting dynamic going into Wimbledon next year because now it's not like it's Alcaraz's thing anymore. Now Sinner's
It can
there.
go both ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see them going at it at Wimbledon forever for sure. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
By the way, also the Sinner Alcaraz Djokovic, I don't know if it's a word, but triopoly, that's kind of broken now.
Yeah.
It was always when Sinner played Djokovic, Sinner would always win. Djokovic played Alcaraz, Djokovic wins. Alcaraz played Sinner, Alcaraz wins. That's kind of broken now because Sinner now beats Alcaraz.
Yeah, and then Sinner just kind of made his way to the top of the pyramid. Yeah, I mean, also Djokovic is kind of gonna fall off anyway due to the age. I mean, we're not gonna see much from him compared to both of them in the next coming years. So yeah, I mean, yeah, the whole pyramid is kind of it's out of whack now. Sinner's up here, and then it's like Djokovic like a little bit down here, and then Alcaraz like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, Sinner's now 2-0 against Alcaraz on grass.
yeah, that's a pretty crazy record to have. I mean, that just goes to show you that Sinner's game styles anything fast. I mean, that's the way I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think you have to say grass is his second best surface now.
Yeah, aside from hard courts, yeah, 100%. Until they
Yeah,
get to Roland Garros final, which is going to be very hard against Alcaraz. I mean, until he gets to Roland Garros final, we're still yet to see anything from him on clay. However, I do feel like he's going to be able to rival Alcaraz for the next couple of years for sure.
yeah. It's interesting. I was kind of thinking after the Roland Garros and the way Sinner played in that match and how he almost won that. I was kind of thinking, is clay maybe his second best surface now? But I think it's grass. I actually think grass is still his worst surface for Sinner, though, when it comes to movement, though. I still think the movement is tough for him on the grass. I think he moves better, obviously, on hard, and I think he is better on clay as well. But yeah, he's able to win on grass. It's his first major outside of hard court as well. So I like how Sinner is able to do this now, kind of shut everyone up that says, oh, he can't win on anything other than hard
Oh
court.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, people were calling him a hard court merchant for a while. So I mean, yeah, it's good for him to get a win on Wimbledon, especially for the confidence and mental boost as well that he gets from beating Alcaraz after the Roland Garros final. So yeah, I mean, it's great for him in his career.
By the way, how crazy would it have been if Sinner won RG? He would have held all four majors right
He
now.
won Roland Garros. He would have been the front runner for the U.S. Open, and if he won the U.S. Open, that would have literally flipped the whole world upside down.
Yeah, he would. I mean, he seriously could have had a good chance of winning the calendar
Oh
slam,
yeah,
which is
100%.
something that none of the big three did. Only Rod Laver has able to have been done that once. He did it once in the open era in 1969. So
Yeah, that's
I
great.
I do think though, if there's one guy that can do it, I think Sinner is the guy that can maybe win a
I think
calendar slam.
Jannik
In
is the
this
most.
era right now that we're in. I think Sinner is the guy.
Yeah, he's the most consistent to do it. I don't see Alcaraz doing that honestly ever. But I mean, we'll see in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so some more Sinner stats now. He's won the last three out of four majors. Last four out of seven. Sinner and Alcaraz combined, they won the last seven majors, so they're just
Yeah,
the
there's
dominant force in tennis right now.
yeah.
Um, okay, so now Sinner and Alcaraz, they are both one away from the career slam. Next year, they're both going for the career slam. Alcaraz is going for it in Australia. Sinner goes for it at Roland Garros. So Alcaraz will have his chance first. My question to you is, do you think Sinner is closer to winning RG first, or Alcaraz is closer to winning the Australian first?
I think it's center with Roland Garros simply due to his game not being specified for any specific surface. His game is overall just very, very strong in any aspect of the game, and he plays perfect tennis. So I mean, it'll be harder for Alcaraz to win the Australian. Do I think he can do it? Yeah, it's going to be a matter of him adjusting his game and adjusting his hitting pattern and everything else. But I feel like Alcaraz can definitely do it, but Sinner's closer to Roland Garros than Alcaraz is to the Australian for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially based off what we saw at the last major. Sinner was 1 point away from winning Roland Garros. He was so close. I think he proved to us that he can play on every surface and on clay. And Alcaraz is still yet to, not only is he yet to make a final in Australia, he's yet to make a semifinal at the Australian Open yet. So, yeah, I do, as of right now, I do like Sinner's chances, but Alcaraz will get the first opportunity to win the career slam come Australia next year. So, looking forward to that because now we're going to be on career slam watch for Sinner and Alcaraz. So, that's very
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, that's going to be great for the rivalry for sure.
Yeah. And look, the gap between everyone else and Sinner and Alcaraz, I feel like it's just getting bigger after this
They're
tour.
here, everybody else is like down here, dude. It's so
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Sinner and Alcaraz, the dominant force right now in tennis. Also confirms that Sinner cannot lose the number one ranking until at least after the U.S. Open. So U.S. Open is going to be really interesting because number one ranking will probably be up for grabs because Sinner won it last year, and Alcaraz, remember, lost in the second round last year at the U.S. Open in a big
Yeah.
upset. So Alcaraz has a big chance if he goes deep at the U.S. Open to maybe get that number one ranking back, which would be pretty big for Alcaraz.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great for him as well for the ranking and for everything. Yeah, I mean if he's able to have a deep run at the U.S. Open, that just shows that he can change his game and make it work on hard court. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, Sinner, he's broken the 5 match losing streak against Alcaraz, so that's great for him. let's just going into the U.S. Open. I know it's still about a month and a half away from right now, but just going into that, is Sinner the clear favorite for the U.S. Open?
As of now, I'd say yeah. I mean, we haven't seen much from Alcaraz on hard court since like since the Grand Slam hard court since 2022. So, I mean, yeah, especially with the upsets that he's had too. Yeah, Sinner is 100% the favorite right now.
Yeah. Do you want to hear like my dream semifinal lineup for the U.S. Open if everyone's healthy?
What's up? What is it?
How's this for a lineup? We get Djokovic versus Alcaraz in a semi, and then we get Fritz versus Draper in a quarterfinal, and the winner of Fritz versus Draper plays Sinner in a semi.
That would be very good. I would honestly love to see Draper in another semi for sure.
Yeah, Sinner versus Draper is a match we haven't seen since they played in the semis of the U.S. Open last year. So that's a match I kind of looking forward to. But yeah, Draper going forward, I'm interested to see that. Taylor Fritz going forward is interesting. Novak Djokovic is probably the most interesting going forward after the injury he had here and the unfortunate performance that he had against Sinner. So it's all very exciting going forward. One more thing on Sinner. Darren Cahill has been big for Jannik Sinner, but he's going to be retiring after this year. Do you think that will affect Sinner going into next year, the fact that Cahill won't be there?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like we'll see a different temperament of Sinner. I feel like Cahill kind of had him on like that sort of Iceman sort of energy. I feel like Sinner is going to get more emotional next year.
Okay.
But I don't feel like it'll affect him that much. I feel like the game and the fundamentals have already been stuck there for him, so they're kind of stuck in the back of his head. But yeah, I feel like we're going to get a more emotional Sinner, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Do you have anything else to add for this match or just Wimbledon in itself?
I mean, not really. I mean, we mostly covered everything. Yeah, I mean, there's not much I can say aside from I hope this rivalry keeps on going forever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a great rivalry. Thank you everybody for joining us during this entire Wimbledon. As you know, we started only about a month and a half ago. We started right before Roland Garros. We came to you every day during that tournament. We've come to you every day during here at Wimbledon. Going forward for us, the next major obviously isn't until a month and a half at the U.S. Open. But we have a couple Masters 1000s coming up. But we'll probably be gone for about a week or two. We probably won't be back until Canada coming up. And we won't be coming to you every day for those 1000s, but we'll come to you maybe about a couple times a week. We're thinking about coming during those 1000s. And then during the US Open, we do have some work, school stuff to do during the US Open. So it's going to be a little bit different during the US Open. We might only come to you in a short form content. So TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube, that sort of stuff. But we'll figure it out as we go. But yeah, thank you everyone who has come to us, not just during Wimbledon, but during these past couple months.
Yeah, for sure. Again, thank you guys for all your continued support for these past couple months. We enjoy this. We do it for you guys. We do it for ourselves. We do it for the entire tennis community. We've loved doing this for the past 2 months that we've been at it. We're hoping to continue keeping on going as well throughout our school year. So yeah, thank you all again so much for your support. Our handle on our social media platforms is Breakpoint Breakdown 1 on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. Please go and support us there if you like our content, and we will see you in about a couple weeks.